you can find all the details to share in the video description below. We'll be getting started shortly, so go top up your coffee mug and grab a drawing tablet. While you wait, give the stream a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already, and drop us a comment to let us know where in the world you're tuning in from today. Hello, welcome to the clubhouse. How's it going, Solomon?
Good. It's good to be back. I'm very excited.
Yeah, nice. How was your week at GDC?
It was great. It was obviously very inspirational for March of Robots. There's plenty of robot-themed artwork that I saw there. But seriously, the floor was great. GDC was awesome. It was a really big show out this year. They actually had the numbers said there was 29,000 people there, which is ridiculous. Wow. Yeah,
that's amazing. It's nice and good connections.
Definitely, absolutely. So we met with some great companies, great studios, talking about Magma a ton, and particularly in the gaming world, we've got a lot of great things to be announcing here soon enough. But on the floor itself, I mean, I'd say the biggest thing I saw that I loved was Unreal. Unreal, of course, had a great presence. Epic was doing a great job of just, their booth was insane. They had so much stuff. That was probably the most fun part about the show.
Very cool. Before we get stuck into things, are you getting a bit of echo on your side of your voice?
No, are you getting from yours?
No, it's all good. I'm just making sure everything's cooperating with me on my side.
Yeah.
Cool, guys. So we're doing one last round of March of Robots as we bring the month to a close. Had some fun last week doing some. I've been taking photos around on my travels, and we've been using those as the backdrop for this. So this photo here is from the Botanical Gardens in Kuala Lumpur. And that was taken about 6 months ago, I think. Pretty interesting structure, and I thought it'd make a fun backdrop, see what we can do with this space. So yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to do something that's a bit nature-y themed. This is a part of why I chose this, because a game came out yesterday called Terra Nil, and it was actually produced by an indie game studio based in South Africa, my home country. And I was super chuffed with it. I've been playing that a little bit today just to see what it's like. But the idea is to reclaim the wasteland of our potential future and turn it into something where nature takes over again. But you're an active participant in helping nature take over. And then when you're done with the level, you pack everything up, you leave no trace. So you've got to pull back all the resources that you used, load it up into your ship, and off you go onto the next location. So I thought I'd come up with something around that theme for a bunch.
That's a great theme. I love that.
Yeah. But I haven't collected any reference. Just never a good thing.
Yeah, this image is beautiful.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Hey, that's a structure is it's really big. It's really big. It'll make for an interesting skate park too.
Totally. It's a great
the
call.
space is the botanical gardens there are actually like free to go into, which I was quite surprised by. The botanical gardens in South Africa, you pay quite like a high fee, but it's phenomenal. It takes like a lot of maintenance. What's that? Yeah, so it was cool. People just go and like hang out there. It's really big grounds, and they've got a little river going through it. Some other interesting structures where you can sit and get away from the heat. Very, very cool.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, you do usually have to pay any botanical gardens I've been to. It's always some fee. That's very cool.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. I've got good old Pinterest open here. Magma's PRF. Oh, that was cool. Well, maybe I'll just start drawing and see what happens.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat, trying to figure this out myself. I don't want to. I mean, I literally just want to draw like Star Wars droids, but I literally need to stop doing that.
I was thinking about it earlier, like, oh yeah, obviously now new episode comes out today, so sure Solomon's busy watching it right now, like first thing he's woken up before we do the stream.
It's like making eggs, making my athletic greens, and add Mandalorian on in the background. Like,
of course. Like these audience must be so tired of listening to us nerd out in Star Wars.
It's because it's on Wednesdays, and that's when the episode comes out, so it's fresh in my mind. Yeah. And yeah, it's like it's unavoidable.
And I mean, you were in the land of ILM just a week ago too, you know.
That as well, yes. Getting the I've been dreaming about the private tour at ILM for so long, and all my friends have been on it. Like I remember, and I used to work in that part of the industry where I was invited once and I wasn't able to go. It was the most devastating thing. So the fact that we got this opportunity to get that private tour, and yeah, if anybody doesn't know, it's just ILM's studio in San Francisco. They have a creative studio where a lot of the artists are working in multiple buildings, but when you get the private tour, they have like all the props from any Star Wars movie you can think of, any ILM visual effects film, which basically all you need to do, if you haven't watched already, I know you have, Ryan, watch Industrial Light and Magic on Disney Plus.
Yes.
Or just Light and Magic. That's what it's called.
Light and Magic, yeah.
Yeah. Just watch that. You'll get an idea. That was the tour, was basically seeing all these amazing old mechanical props. All the engineering work they used to do obviously was practical effects. So it was all mechanical machinery and wiring and systems to do like puppetry, like they had some of the old Ghostbusters puppets.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, some great
from
stuff.
The original one?
The original. Some that they used in camera. Not all. Some of them were like prototypes before they actually filmed, but a few of them were stuff that they used on screen. So definitely both.
That's amazing. Super jealous. One day.
Well, they invited us back, so you're coming with next time for sure.
It's gonna be quite a long flight.
Indeed. Yeah, what's the longest flight? I mean, that's what? How many hours would that be? Like 14? 12?
I'm trying to think. I wonder which direction which way it'll go. It would probably go back towards Europe. We're flying backwards. Yeah, I'm sure that overall travel time is probably going to be like a full day at least.
Yeah.
But it's worth it. I mean, I don't mind those waits for such things.
Yeah, do flights actually go over the Pacific? It's almost like they always go the other direction. I mean, they can obviously, but
don't actually know. I'm not going to do the robot first. I'm going to add something here.
Oh yeah, okay. That's the one. So like LAX to Australia, that's a big one. I remember that one now.
Okay.
And then I guess it's just LAX to, Thailand and Japan and all those.
Yeah, I was looking at flights from. I think we were looking to see what is like flying from like South Africa to Japan or something. Yeah, I'm just all the places I want to go to. It's this all sitting at like 20 hours.
Yeah,
20 plus.
Right.
Lots of time to sit with my uncontrollable excitement.
Right.
My wife is asking me like, how are you going to deal? Like once we actually book tickets to go to Japan, like obviously it's going to be quite a while in advance. Like what are you going to do between that time when we booked the ticket, getting on the flight and actually arriving there? I'm just going to be freaking out the whole time.
Just going to watch Japanese stuff, like watch anything that's about Japan. Just be there as much as you possibly can.
Bowing at my fridge, bowing at the coffee pot.
Speaking of shows about Japan, did you watch Tokyo Vice on HBO?
I did not.
It came out a year ago. It's actually about the Yakuza. It's based on true events of an American journalist, like a journalist who kind of gets caught up in the Yakuza ring and wrote a book about it. Or I think he wrote a book about it, or he wrote something about it afterward, about his encounters with them. So it's like based on true events, but really, really
interesting.
Pretty cool show.
Yeah. It was another streaming service I could then get signed up with.
I'll give you my login.
This is going to be where.
Munji's comment, he got aspirate recently during the Steam Spring sale. I've been making tiny versions of my friends nonstop before putting them into a game where a tiny version of myself can flip them off.
I like it.
Nice.
I'm so grateful to these companies when they run their sales on software. It's really just so glad for it.
I know, totally.
Just struggling. I just got Clip Studio Paint now with they released their version 2 and ran a really nice sale. I think the Pro version, they have Pro and they have EX. EX has got like the animation features and all the extra like comic stuff. But their standard Pro version, I think, was $19 or something for a pretty solid bit of software. But I've never really given much time to test it out. So it's something to add to the list of tasks down the line.
Totally.
So it'll be good to have in the package to review at some point. Let's see. We can have a little floaty guy. Oh yeah, if there's anyone watching that doesn't know how to get to the canvas, if you want to draw along with us, there's information in the description of the video. It's all there. You'll have to join the Magma art space first if you're not already, and then from there you can follow the link to the canvas. I really enjoyed the conversations last night with that you and Udi were having during the classroom.
Yeah, I saw you commenting in there too, and it was great. I appreciate that. I was thinking about the classroom stuff, and I've previously just wanting to get the information out and share the educational stuff, but I actually found it quite. And Udi was excited to talk more about other things outside of just like the process, getting into those
Yeah.
conversations.
But I feel like even with the clubhouse, but also with the classroom stuff, it starts to, as we've kind of gotten into it, it feels like going back to, I suppose, like early days, just like hanging out with friends, enjoying, and you're talking about all kinds of stuff. You're learning together at the same time. One person might show how they do something, but it's very much a social thing as well, not just a kind of lecture on how to do something. Jack, I like that. It has those sort of like informal moments. Of course, you're busy learning something. That's what you're there for. But it's not just about learning how to draw. Like we learn from each other through our different experiences, sharing our different experiences, stuff, and that has immense value too.
Right. No, absolutely. And I've come to find that in reality, at least for me, and I'm sure that there are others. There definitely are others who learn just by clear direction. They don't need any extra fluff or conversation, but I feel like a lot of us do. And I didn't actually feel like I was able to learn anything without having those types of conversations. Like those are the things that those are the secrets that I needed to unlock in order to find so whatever it was, creative motivation or the right source of motivation. But when I was just looking at just pure education and information, I found it to be very boring. It didn't inspire me. That's I think the thing is, like, if you can pair a workshop or a lesson with some really strong motivation and inspiration to make you really feel excited about something, that to me is way more impactful, and that comes through conversation and just opening up about the nitty-gritty parts of the creative process, right?
Yeah, for sure. 100% agree with that.
That's why the best, I'm sure you've already shared stories about your instructors and people from the past, but the best ones are sometimes the most eccentric, like the most loud and out there, right? They'll say some things that are a little off the cuff, but like you're like, wow, this person's kind of crazy.
Yeah, definitely. Those sort of teachers stand out. There's one who, I don't know, we used to think she was a bit wacko. She'd make us like clap in front of us before class. Like when we come back from a recess, we'd stand at our easels. I can't remember if I told the story already. But we sort of clap in front of us, and it just sort of like wakes you up, and then you're ready to go. Like, oh my god, now we've got to do the silly clapping again. But I suppose it just shakes you off for, like, I don't know, loud, sharp sounds. Like get something firing in your brain. Maybe, I don't know.
Right.
Sometimes you just gotta be weird. Just
totally
into it.
That's a good one. That's a good rule. Sometimes you just gotta be weird.
What is this?
I'm putting up a really wacky banner right now. So I'm happy to do this live here, even though I don't like talking about scheduling things. But what I was thinking is this weekend, I'd like to do a clubhouse on a Saturday here soon. I know that with time zones and stuff, it's a little different for you. You got any open Saturdays coming up that maybe we could schedule one?
We're changing apartments temporarily this weekend. It's not ideal. The next weekend we're planning to go away for a weekend. So the one after that, I'm down for it.
Wow, it's already time for you to switch apartments. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's just for 1 month. Unfortunately, this place was booked during this particular time slot, so we couldn't just.
Right.
We're coming back to this place until the end of the year, but there was one booking in the middle that unfortunately has remained.
I remember all that. I'm more saying that, like, I just can't believe how fast time has gone by and the time that you've been there. Like, that's already over, and then that's just, this year is flying by way too fast for me.
Yeah. No, it's true.
I was making a joke with my barber the other day. We were talking about time flying by. I was like, it's like the best way that you can slow time down is just by I don't know if you guys had this in South Africa, but for us in the States, like elementary school, every classroom had this giant circular clock, like traditional clock with arms. You just buy giant clocks and just put them all over your house so you can't not see the time and stare at it.
Yeah.
It will slow time down, guaranteed.
That's bound to work.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't know how I'm going to make this work exactly. Mm-hmm.
I'm really dragging my feet on this one today.
Yeah, me too. I'm sitting here like just sketchy lines, trying to figure out what I'm doing. Figure it out.
This is such a cool backdrop. I don't want to just throw something random in there. I'm like struggling to find something that will fit.
Yeah, I wondered actually when I dropped it in. I was like, I wonder if it's too much. If people are going to be like, what am I supposed to throw in here? Like, you can just do whatever you want. It doesn't have to fit inside the environment necessarily. So I wondered if it was going to add some weird pressure. But in all of our streams, people have been adding fun little characters here and there, dangling from the ceilings and popping out of windows and all kinds of little sneaky things. So I thought, well, there's lots of opportunity for that here. So.
We could do this image like 15 times over and get different results. Like, I'd love to. I'm still trying. I don't know. I still want to bring a different vibe to this stream where we can like task oriented, like a project. Like, we define some rules, we define a few things where everybody needs to be delegated a responsibility. Like, like I look at like Nexus does really great environmental work, Nexus knocks out stuff all the time we see in these streams, like, or people can pick the role that they want, maybe would make more sense. Cause I know that we all have diverse skills and abilities. We can do different things, but kind of like making it a team exercise would be amazing. It's just a matter of like, I've been hoping that we would get more people involved in these streams, but I consistently seen that the problem is that the time zones, like that we're doing it on a weekday in the States at the very least when most people are working. And then for you guys in Europe and outside, it's just too late and it's a weekday. So
yeah, so maybe that sort of weekend time slot where there's a bit of time to build up. Maybe once a month we do like a weekend time slot, and then try and like gather the troops.
Yeah,
for like something particular.
That's a good idea. Once a month, maybe we could start that, and I'd like to make a bigger announcement so we can let people know that we're planning on changing this up. We'll keep the weekday stream, which it seems to be consistently the same folks for the most part. We got Unju, we got Nexus, Triluminati's usually here. Everest. I never seem to say that right. Everest. Are we saying that correctly?
I think it's Everest. Like
Everest.
Yeah, you're gonna correct us again.
Oh, I do remember now. He did say it was like Everest, but just Everest. Right.
Yeah.
And Kosei, and I remember Kosei laid it out for us too.
Sure. Whoa, what have I done? Yeah, I was seeing Manju's comment there from a little bit earlier. Like the creative process inspires creativity. Definitely think, process, being active. That's where the creativity comes in, man. That's where the inspiration comes from. If you sit idle, you're not going to really get inspired. You have to be moving. Gotta just put pen to paper.
Yeah. Manju, I see what you mean now. You're talking about pixels, not using pixel perfect. You got over there pixel painting. I like it.
Do we have a thing? Wait, David, hang on here. Sorry, viewers zooming in to an obnoxious degree. We do have it. Okay. I want to see if we zoom all the way in, if we get a little pixel grid, which we do. Mouse wheel. What's going on elsewhere here? It's too dark. Just breathing into the mic, looking at people's work. Yes, that's me.
I was going to say, is that what I'm doing right now? I literally just zoned out for a minute.
No, it was me so like going right in on people's work. Also like right up in my tablet here.
Yeah.
Horrible posture.
Yeah. It's unavoidable. I've given up trying to fight that. I'm like, all I do, I do more stretching now. I do more yoga. I work it out outside of it, but when I'm here, it's like I can't change my posture's set in stone for life at this point.
Yeah.
Although I bought this stool that rolls, so it's kind of like a combination of like some people use like the medicine balls, like you're kind of rolling, but those don't work for me. This is like, it's a little bit stiffer, and then I can kind of like lean forward and back so I can change my posture and kind of strengthen my core area, which helps a bit.
Yeah, that's great. That's a good idea. Maybe I need to get something like that. I wouldn't mind getting somebody to prop up the laptop a little higher. So like that's the table stand that you've got. It's really nice. Something like that, just so I can stand and wiggle around and bounce around from one leg to the other. Pretend I can dance.
Right. Soon. You just need that to be. You need Harry Potter transfiguration. Or what's the one where they're able to shrink it and put it in a bag?
Oh yeah. I don't remember the names.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
I should know. I've been playing Hogwarts Legacy on and off for like the last 3 weeks.
And enjoying it?
Oh, yeah. I don't get enough time. I'm only able to get in like 30, 45 minutes a night, just like before bed, just because it's relaxing. But, oh, man, it's amazing. It's so cool. I just want more, of course. Like it's very immersive, and they really do play out a lot of narratives for the characters. Like as you're exploring the world, you can literally just walk up and there's so many side quests and things to do that, and they have real value. Like when you do them, you get a lot of cosmetic stuff they give you. I think what I think is the coolest part. Others would probably disagree, but the coolest part for me is you have the room of requirement, which is like your own private space, and you can design it any way you want. So you can conjure objects and place, like put artwork on the walls and put desks in corners and like set up your potion stations and set up your herbology plant stations, and then they unlock later. You have these doorways that go into places in the world where you can like farm your own animals, so you can collect magical creatures and put them here, and then you can breed those creatures, and you get materials from them to like craft and make stuff. So it's like I've just been spending all my time like doing quests so I could level up my room of requirement and like do more
Oh,
there.
nice.
Yeah. So anyways.
What does that comment? Aren't you saying, of course, that's your favorite part?
Yeah, right.
That's conflict.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Being a 3D modeler and an artist, like it's definitely always my favorite thing when I get a game that allows me to customize stuff. That's always my obsession, you know?
No, that's not what I want. Opacity. That shouldn't be started. If you manage to catch up on your sleep after that long drive from San Fran.
Yeah, it's I'm actually doing okay. While I was there, I tried to stick to Central Time Zone, so I was waking up really early there, and which is they're 2 hours behind what I normally am. So it's waking up at like 5 a.m. every day, which is not my standard. Definitely not. But so that helped, and I did a good job of. I've come to find like I take emergency like every day, and like triple up on vitamins just to like, and that helps a ton. When I don't do that, I always come back sick.
Yes, but and those conference times when there's so much going on, your mind is like, it's being worked so much, and there's so much to do in so little amount of time.
Right.
You don't get a lot of time to actually rest. Yeah, it does take a toll on the body.
Right. Yeah. It's funny you say that. It's like the constant conversations and talking, and you really are so occupied. Like they're I'm always exceptionally exhausted when I do an expo or a conference like that. It's just like, whoa, I need a break. Like, and you're not physically doing anything. You're just wandering around, but it's exhausting.
Yeah. Do you find that as well at museums? I mean, like going to like a big natural history museum, I find it quite an exhausting experience. Amazing, but I'm so knackered at the end of it.
Right. I have very similar experiences myself. I think it's, and I don't do it frequent enough. I wonder if you were to do it like, I don't know, back to back for like a month, say, like, would your perspective change? I was just put so much emphasis on, okay, I need to go and I need to make sure that I'm looking at this and I'm looking at this and I want to observe and I want to really put all my focus and attention on it. It's like, if you have a respect for the art, you want to, pay respects mentally and like, be in the right mindset. So it is exhausting, but I guess, I don't know, or maybe it'd be better to say like, when we were kids and you go to the museum and it's just a bunch of kids holding hands, walking around, like you don't really know what's going on. Like then it was fine. It was totally fine.
Yeah, it's true though. You do want to you go there like, oh, this is such an important thing, like important part of our history or whatever the case may be. Like,
yeah,
I have to really like take the time to really feel it out, see like figure out why it's so important, or just appreciate it. And then, because then who knows when you're going to see this thing again, especially when you're traveling and you go to a museum. I was like, oh, I might not see this again. I've got to like take as much of it in now as I can, commit as much as I can to memory. But now I suppose I'll take a photo of it, then I can easily revisit it later. Never do.
Yep. Totally. Yeah, that definitely seems like the crux of it, you know.
Yeah. There we go. Oh wait, I keep tapping in the wrong place. I keep seeing Kosei like pop up and like in my little container vessel here at times. I'm like, I start drawing like, oh wait, are you trying to do something there? Let me move away, and then you're gone. Like, and then I go in looking for little creepy characters. Someone climbing the poles here, swinging from the rafters. I love the swing here. Very cool. Okay. Nice. Way to call the future there, turning the people into robots. As if we don't have enough to worry about.
Very nice. Dig it. It's very on brand for the future. I shouldn't be so zoomed in, but so I don't know. Outside of Ryan and I, are anybody here actual like legit Star Wars fans? I'm asking because we constantly keep talking about it, and I'm wondering if everybody just doesn't give a crap. And I was gonna ask about the new Star Wars game, which did you play this one, Ryan?
Is this Fallen Order?
Yeah, so Fallen Order was the original, and then Jedi Survivor is coming out pretty soon.
Yeah. I've seen it popped up, but I haven't watched the trailer yet of it. Let me just make a note. Because I was trying to decide. I saw Fallen Order was on sale on Steam. So I was like, should I? Shouldn't I? I don't think it will run well on my machine, which is probably a good thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh hey, I see got some people here on YouTube. Fictional key art. I like that. T Gaming. Hi, welcome to the stream. If you guys need, if you want to join in, draw with us, there is all the canvas link, art space details in the description. Throw some robots in here.
Yeah, jump in. The water's fine.
Fictional Key was there last night as well. Or yes, well, last night for me. Udi's workshop.
I do remember you. Yeah, yesterday I've been. Not yesterday. Today I've been planning out tomorrow's classroom that I'll be doing with everyone. Should be a fun one. Stepping out of my own comfort zone for this. We'll be doing landscapes. I'm so excited for that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Always found them, well, the idea of them pretty intimidating. Like, come on, it's all the same principles apply, dude. Like, you're telling people like all about value and shape, and that's all it really is.
Totally.
So that's what we're gonna do.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Oh, maybe he should also have a little cylinder here.
I don't know what's been going on lately, but my machine has just like hard freeze and just reboots automatically.
Oh no.
I need to do a whole diagnostic and figure out what's going on, but I just heard like a beep in the background. I was like, what's that?
You're normally running the streamer for that machine, right?
Yep. I don't know if
glad we've changed that up.
Well, totally, but I have found we were doing a stream not too long ago where it was running off of my machine, but because you were in the stream and it was still running, when I rebooted and went back to StreamYard, it was still going. I just popped back in. Nobody even noticed that I was gone, which was great. So that's a good news with StreamYard. It stays open as long as somebody else is in there. You're good.
Yeah, we noticed you were gone, Sol. Don't worry. you were missed briefly.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, Nominon is here too. Oh, I said it right first time.
Nice.
Give me tackling the tongue twisters. Yeah, I remember when I started varsity and needed to have a slightly better computer at that time to be able to do my assignments and stuff. I made a very deliberate move not to get anything with a good graphics card in it, because I knew video games are a bit of a vice, and couldn't have that.
Yeah, it's definitely smart. I used to say like, oh no, I mean it's it's good for inspiration. You gotta do it every once in a while, which I mean technically is true, but I've come to find that I've probably absorbed all the information I can from video games. Very rarely is it actually about that. But I will say, like, the ones that I do like the most, that I'm okay with myself as I keep playing, are the ones that I actually get into, like, silly as it may be, if people aren't digging Hogwarts Legacy, I have been, like, it's been allowing me to turn my brain off and get into something where I'm not thinking about anything else, and that to me is important. If I don't have that in my life enough, because I'm constantly like, I'll be working and I got things playing in the background and my brain's just thinking about 500 things. When I can just linearly focus, it helps me relax at night and kind of get into a different mindset,
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you find that games that are still pretty difficult and challenging is fine to keep you in as a relaxing thing, or does it have to be something that would maybe fit the cozy game?
It's a good question. Like I every once in a while I'll jump into, like, I was playing Destiny for a long time, and I jump into play Call of Duty, like super competitive games, like the competitive ones. They get my blood going and they keep me up super late, and that's just a giant time suck. So as much as I do love competition and I love that stuff, I know that it's not good for me. So I'd so much rather be spending something that's very creative and immersive, and like Red Dead Redemption was a good one for me for a long time. Even though that was a little competitive, it was more like I could go out and hunt and forage and like do stuff and like experience the wilderness of the game, and it was really immersive, and that was great. And Hogwarts Legacy has been that for me lately.
Okay. Yeah, I started getting into Stardew Valley for that that same sort of like, yeah, now I'm done with the competitive, super blood boiling Counter Strikes and Overwatch and that kind of stuff. It has to be something chilled out now. Whoops.
Yeah, totally.
There we go. Dun dun dun. Zooming out. Ooh, that's a cool. Is that a robotic locust beetle thing that Everest is doing? Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, I dig that.
Should also have a leafy something.
Hey, with your tablet, I have a question for you. Every time I click with I'm using a Cintiq. When I click on a layer with my pen, one tap does not select the layer. You have the same problem.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's pretty annoying.
Yeah. Okay. That's
when you're used to it doing things in a particular way, and then it behaves on you with, or it doesn't do the thing it's supposed to on one tap, like a normal left click. Oh, it's taken me a while to like just remember that. And now it's fine. Now I know I've got to do it in most instances. It doesn't bug me as much. But it's a bit of a pain point at first.
Yeah, I've been doing this for weeks now, and I've not gotten any better with it. I keep thinking I'm like that, but with the mouse, when I click it with the mouse, it's immediate, one click. So
yeah,
the disassociation there for me is like incredibly jarring.
And it seems to be the case with pretty much all tablets, because I've got that. I think with my screenless ones as well, the display tablets. I think even with the iPad, it does it as well. So, because at first I remember submitting a bug report, I think about it months ago, and I thought, why is XP Pen not sufficiently supported here or something? But it seems it's actually a wider issue.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know.
Can't really see that. I could have been way smarter about this. I will open a second window. Have you been bouncing around between the Cintiq and the Wacom One at all?
Not really.
Sticking.
Yeah, that's a tough one for me. If I have this, it's like, like trying to think of a good analogy here. It's like cake versus cupcakes, or like ice cream versus cake. I don't know. Like each one, the Cintiq for me is like, if it's there, I'm gonna use it. Nothing beats it.
Yeah.
But the Wacom One's like my backup if something goes wrong, I put it at my other station because I have 2 different desks. So I figured if I ever need it like directly in front of me, I can use it for that. But
yeah,
hasn't come up yet.
Yeah, mind you, contagious whistling. It's almost as bad as yawning. Where is this? I want a strange pipe. Let's do this.
Yo.
I dare you call my tablet just a backup.
That's not what I meant. I mean, and I should clarify, like, it's not like I have this like amazing giant Cintiq. I have the 21UX. This thing is like 20 years old. It's like it's a dinosaur, and I love it. It's like it's not even like they've updated to the black coloring. Mine is like the gray. It's like a grayish tan color. It's wild.
I see Sense Labs has released their first pen display, and it looks mighty nice indeed.
Oh yeah, totally. I actually had a chance to talk with those guys.
Well, we can chat about that off stream.
Totally. Yeah, I know that you're a user of their stuff.
I haven't used any of their products yet.
Oh, you haven't?
Not
okay.
yet. I'm looking forward to getting my hands on some of their products in the not too distant future, hopefully. Might have to wait until my next trip to Malaysia or something. Yeah, but I've been quite intrigued by them as someone who's actually trying to compete with Wacom with the professional market, whereas a lot of the other competitors are targeting this sort of early career beginners, people on a much tighter budget. Yeah, what happened?
Sabotage. I love it. I haven't seen that in a while.
So I was doing
we need a sound. We need like a soundboard. I need to get OBS in our stream set up so I can cue off like a sabotage, like just like a sound effect. Like
I dig it.
What would be cool. What would be a good sabotage sound effect?
That's a good question.
There's so many possibilities.
So many.
Totally random. For some reason, I think it's because I was looking at something online earlier, but I think it's Emperor Palpatine where he goes, "Do it, do it,
Yes.
do it."
Nice.
It was a cross reference. That's what it was. It was a cross reference on Reddit. Somebody posted a snapshot of Hogwarts Legacy of them about to learn the Avada Kedavra curse, because you can go down that character route if you want to go evil and like learn the for unforgivable curses or whatever. And he goes, "Should I do it?" And then the whole thread below is just people with Star Wars memes, like with like.
Nice. That's the right crowd.
Yeah, truly.
What is the time here? Intruder alert. Spies in the base. Mm-hmm. That could work too, for sure. Have you seen? I don't know how much time you spend on social media, but have you seen these reels of this dog that has sword fights with its owners?
No.
they give it like a plastic sword, and it goes wild. Like I sort of picked up from them. I was watching a sort of more detailed video about it today, where this guy and his partner they would kind of spar off with these sort of swords and make silly videos, and then the dog like caught onto this, and
I'm watching it now. It's like a border collie.
It's amazing. Yes.
Oh, that is amazing. He's really like actually doing moves.
Yeah.
Wild.
Now someone just needs to remix that with a lightsaber, then we're good to go.
Oh, you already know somebody did it. It's just a matter of time before you see it. There's a subreddit that's I forget what it's called, but it's a Lord of the Rings and Star Wars crossover. So you have to post things that are referenceable to Lord of the Rings, but you can like parallel it to Star Wars. And it's really, I mean, it's hard to understand the context until you see it, but it's really good. It's a really fun one. I'll send them to you.
I haven't been on Reddit in ages.
Just catching Munju's comment. Intruder alert, red spies in the base.
Yeah, we are 1 hour in. Just recognizing from the looping of this audio track, because I used it in my own streams as well. Okay, cool. There's a good little sound indicator.
We need a music upgrade here.
sense now, does it?
I'm going to grab some more coffee. I'll be right back.
Sure. Noticing here with this little character that I've done. Wait, hey. Oh, don't be doing that. So while I've got intruder alert, that I was gonna have this little character floating around up here above the ground, and then I added this tube, which gets a little close to. I don't know what mechanism this robot is using to elevate itself off of the ground, but if it's putting out intense heat, it's probably not good for this pipe to wrap around underneath it. So I think I need to change that. Didn't quite think it through. Let's erase this for two.
All right, let's do some work.
Yeah. Is that the sound of your dog walking around behind you?
Can you hear that? Sorry.
Like nails on the floor.
I have
Interesting sound.
I have hard floors, and then I have I got a carpet or rug rather for this room, and I have these little plastic mats for my roller chair, and he's walking on like plastic.
Yeah, Monkey's calling it. We need a dog reveal soon.
Yeah. My camera's in a fixed mount. It'd be hard to I mean, do we have paste in the canvas right now?
We can. Yes.
All right. Yeah, you called it the one sabotage. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna sabotage here just for a sec. Copy. Okay. All right, here it comes. But sorry, it won't let me freaking move it. Why is this layer locked? Interesting. That's weird. There you go. In the top right corner.
So cute.
Yeah, he's a good boy. He's a good boy.
What is this? Mind reactor? Is that the name of the plastic mat thing?
His name is Wiley, after Wiley Coyote
Wiley.
specifically.
Very cute. Very cute.
I definitely will. He loves it. He's used to. I live, as Mungie knows, I live here in Austin, Texas, and I have a park right behind my backyard and even better, the park has a trail, like a really long trail into the woods. So like he's extra spoiled. He goes out there, no leash. We just hit the trail for 20, 30 minutes a day, usually in the afternoon after I get all my meetings, and we do streams around these times. So he's just literally standing up right now, staring at me, like waiting for this time to go out. He knows.
Knows what's up.
Yeah.
Aww.
Good. All right, down.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna need to book leave when the day comes that we're able to get a dog. 'Cause I'm gonna be running all around that garden probably just as much as the dog is.
Totally, man. It took me a long. I wanted a dog for so long, and I wasn't able to do it when I was living in LA. I had to wait until I got here and settled a bit, but it's been a long time coming.
Nice. What am I doing exactly? I don't know. We had a what do they call it? An MVA over there, underneath the car.
Wait, what happened?
Killing all this. Someone got flattened by Mungi's car.
That's
Mungies.
great.
Murderer.
Nice, Ryan. I dig yours. Good theme.
Good, actually incorporating the colors that are in the space, that would make more sense. That would make more sense. This yummy yellow. But yeah, and while I'm remembering, guys, if you haven't already, we have it should be in the description, I'm sure I put it there, a link to a survey. So while we were talking about testing out like a weekend slot for the clubhouse, why don't you let us know what you think of the community aspect of things that we've been doing, hosting our streams, classrooms, all that. It'd be great to get some feedback from you guys, so we can level this thing up. Level it up.
Yeah, absolutely. The feedback is crucial for us. We've actually been getting some really great replies from that survey, so I'm excited. We've got some great stuff from that already, but please do.
Cool. Good to know. Good to know. This is going to need a metal panel on the back here, I think.
I hear my dog walking around. Can you hear me scratching away on my Cintiq?
I heard it a little earlier, but I haven't been able to hear it.
All right. All right, Kose. Thanks for joining. Good seeing you.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Hopefully we'll catch you in the next one. Keep sharing your art on the Discord. I'm loving what you're posting there.
Oh, your iPad is dying. I was like, am I missing a reference there?
Yeah,
Bummer.
I missed that. I missed that too.
Someday we'll. Hey, did you see there was some research papers coming out, or it might even it's beyond research papers. It was technical applications for like fusion cells that you could deploy into like mobile devices. So you could like put a fusion like I'm assuming
Whoa.
somewhat nuclear into like a watch or a phone,
What?
like an energy source. Obviously, very dangerous.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything of that pop up yet.
Yeah, there's supposedly, I follow a lot of just science-based news sources, and I get a lot of updates on discoveries happening, particularly in fusion technology and things that are the direction that we're heading. And just thinking about the possibility of not having to charge a battery is really interesting, but incredibly dangerous right now. Like the truth is that it's just not practical or safe.
Yeah, I don't need to be wearing anything like that. Thank you.
Right.
But for obviously trying to figure out what is this potato. So good. I got totally distracted there. Figuring out battery storage. That's like one of the big challenges in making sustainable energy sources or renewable energy sources properly viable for keeping us at a higher level of energy usage, right?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't look like anyone's pretty amped to reduce their energy usage, which is also something we need to be doing. But
what's that?
Less energy.
Thanks for filling out the survey, Manju. Much appreciated.
Nice.
It feels like it's heading in a Lego minifigure direction, but the goal is to make this more of an actual droid. But we'll see. It took me.
I kind of like the ridiculous droids from the first
battle droids
trilogy, episode 1. Yeah,
me too.
They're pretty silly. I saw someone dressed up for WonderCon. I think it was for WonderCon. That happened now a lot this past weekend. They cosplayed as a Lego Boba Fett, so they were all like blocky dressed up, which I thought was pretty cool.
That sounds pretty cool, man. All right, come on, you gotta go.
Have you played the Lego Star Wars games? Oh,
not like religiously. I've played them. Like my little cousins used to have those games around, and I would mess around for a little bit, but I never went through the whole story.
Okay. Yeah, I played the Game Boy version, and that was quite fun. It was quite fun, but I haven't played it on PC, which looks a bit better. That was a long time ago.
I was listening. Did you say you played the Game Boy version?
Yeah, that came out. It was on Game Boy Advance. Yeah.
No kidding. Did not know that. Yeah.
Make sure.
I miss Game Boy.
Yeah, when I go to Japan, I'm going to be looking for an old Game Boy in good condition.
Nice.
Because they have these these old electronics secondhand stores. So hopefully I'll find. Oh, I'm sure that stuff gets picked up pretty easily. But yeah, I've never
Yeah,
owned
for
a Game
sure.
Boy. Get one, customize it, paint on it, play on it. I actually think it might be better on Game Boy than on PC
Really?
or on anything else. But
That's
I don't know,
fire.
maybe it's just because I like the small format. I think one of my first experiences with a Game Boy was going on the train to a hockey tournament. I think the train trip was about 12 hours from my hometown. That was field hockey, not ice hockey.
Yeah.
I always wanted to play ice hockey, but not really a thing in South Africa. And yeah, it belonged to one of my teammates, and he was already like passed out, so I was like sitting there awake, just jamming on the Game Boy. I think he had Donkey Kong. I think that's what I was playing at the time.
Oh yeah.
Good times.
So good. Yeah, it's like I miss when that was the best thing that you had, like the only thing you carried around in your hands.
Yes.
I use my phone every day like everybody else, but I wish I didn't. It's like hooked on a drug. Get off of it. I have a Switch that I do not use enough.
I've never played on a Switch
All right,
before.
mind you.
Good friends that own one.
You say you never played?
No.
Whoa.
Yeah. Missed the boat on that one. Maybe the Switch will have to be my wife's first TV game set.
I mean,
Never had it as a kid.
With your lifestyle and how things have been going, that's the best case scenario for you guys because it's super mobile. You can take it anywhere.
Yeah.
I just there's a Super NES like package, kind of like those emulators that you can download for the Switch, and it has just hundreds of old Super NES games that you can play, which that's been my favorite.
That's so cool. Yeah, I'm glad those things are around. You can either get the emulators or not. People are bringing out the I suppose they're like these 1,000,000-in-1 little consoles. You can still sort of hook up and play those old games again. Still hook up to the TV.
Yeah,
I think I like having the original thing, but I'm wondering there's going to come a time where it's just not possible to get the devices to connect it to. You know, like those old TVs, those tubes burn out. Like,
it's true.
Just have a limited life.
Right.
The console will last longer than the television set will.
Yeah, totally. But you're right. It's like I would prefer to play it for the nostalgia factor on the original device. And it's getting to the point now where you kind of can't.
Yeah. I frequently get asked on the YouTube channel about the old Wacom tablets and whether anyone's been able to get them to work on some of the newer operating systems, particularly with Mac, because they get outdated on Mac OS much faster, which is unfortunate. Thankfully, my ones all still work on Windows 10, and I'm reluctant to upgrade. But I think I'm just going to have a machine that's got Windows XP on it at some point, and just keep that for the more retro gadgets.
That's a good plan. That's a good plan. That'll work. It'll work for a while.
section needs to be darker. Nostalgia is such a powerful force, actually. Jeez. Really lock you into stuff and get old. Feeling.
Right.
Can I erase this part? Have you watched Midnight in Paris with Owen Wilson?
Mm-hmm.
Wanting to open up a nostalgia shop, the whole idea around that.
Oh,
it was such a fun movie. I really liked it. Just all these characters from the past.
It was a great one. That was that an Oscar contention back then? I think it was.
I wouldn't be surprised. Let's have a look. I like to watch it every now and then, like maybe if I got to go and like speak to, artists back in, I think my ideal time was 1912 Zurich. Had a bunch of artists sort of escaping from the war and like going into neutral territory. In Switzerland, and then they would have the Cabaret Voltaire and have their wacko nights there with all kinds of crazy stuff happening, poetry and visual arts, and just an interesting time responding to the absurdity of war with their own extreme absurdity.
That's a very good time. That's a great one.
What am I looking for? Oh, hectic. Yeah. Best original screenplay 2012, best production design 2013, best picture, best director in 2012.
That was 2012. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great question though. It's like what would be your nostalgia time period? It's like I don't know if I could pick one if I had to. It's so hard to say.
Many interesting times. All with its own madnesses as well. It's all the interesting stuff, but there's also all the crazy things.
Right.
Often I sit here wondering, like, has the world always been this mental? Because it seems pretty mental right now. But I'm sure it's always had some degree of relative insanity.
Yeah.
And I suppose you'd know a bit better than me with your current reading material.
Yeah, and I was just gonna say it seems to be it's really hard for us to imagine, but it's just more of the same, basically. It's more of the same as we become more civilized. Sure, there's a difference between the pre-civilized world versus civilization, and there's certain like rules and guidelines, but there's a pretty strong consistency of treatment of others, I guess would be the nice way to say it. I would be most interested to go back in, and because I've talked about this enough, but Roman history to me is the most fascinating. I feel like it would be the probably 400 BC, which is like I think 400 or 500 BCE would be Alexander days. Alexander the Great, like pre-Roman civilization, just kind of heading into that. That to me is because it's such a pivotal time in, defining a to me, like the most important civilization that's probably affected the world outside of modern civilization was Roman history. So that to me is probably the one that I'd want to see first. But then after that, it's like, gosh, I don't know. Medieval times to me is a fascinating one. Like the Crusades. The Crusades to me, that's another big one that I read a lot about.
Trying to see. Yeah, we went to a sort of. I'm kind of going slightly off track here, but just thinking about the time scales. We went to the sort of old capital of Georgia. Let's see if I can get this pronunciation right. Mishketa, I think. Hopefully that's correct. So it's the old capital here, and went to the Javari monastery there. And that was like completed 500, 600 AD. And like that to me was really like, what the hell? This time is like, it's just been around for ages. It's got all this like beautiful old stone. There was something there. I think that the town had been there much longer, for like 500 years prior to that, but not obviously as a capital or anything. I have to go back and read up about it because there wasn't much there in English. So I need to go do some reading. But it was such a cool thing to go and see.
Wow, that's incredible.
Small church. Yeah, 5:45. Now I'm busy reading it. Oh, I think people had been settling in the area for like several hundred years prior to that, and I was like,
"Oh, what? Even more insane!" Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, and
like trying to comprehend that time, you know, that's past.
We almost can't, right?
Yeah. It must be so interesting to be working in geology or astronomy and like think of the different time scales of things taking place. This happened over millions of years, like, and being able to like look at that, like, oh yeah, that kind of makes sense. My head just falls apart.
I know it's funny. It's the only in my adult life have I ever even started considering. The book that kind of transformed the idea for me was Sebastian Junger's Tribe, which is about it kind of studies tribalistic behavior in humans, and it goes back into Native American culture and even further. But it speaks a lot about the hunter-gatherer perspective as to like you've had this much time living as hunter-gatherers, and then you transform into a civilization. The idea of like conditioned behavior over long periods of time. Once I read that book, I was probably 26 when I read that book, and ever since then, it was my perspective changed, and I started thinking about things differently, or at least asking questions around things from that perspective. And but it's like that's only 10 years in my lifetime that I've been thinking about something. It's the concept of time itself and its effect on behavior I find to be incredibly fascinating.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't read enough these days. I really need to change that. So having a conversation with friends, we've started up a little like a weekly email catch up with one another and a WhatsApp group. We all study together, but we're currently spread out on 3 different continents.
Okay.
But just like going into adult life and then traveling, and it's easy to sort of lose touch with people and all the stuff that you're going on that's going on in your head. When back in varsity, you always had your mates around you, those soundboards that you could pitch your ideas, especially within the context of like art school. I think we were we're throwing around a lot of like wild ideas with one another and like figuring out experiences. I suppose everyone does it in every kind of field. But we were, what was the context now that we were talking? We were speaking about some technologies that will make misleading information more prevalent, and just how people are getting lazier with their thinking and not questioning what they're seeing all the time. They're just like taking everything in sort of at face value. And I had to like quickly step in on my own comment there and just say, well, like I'm also like great danger of slipping down that intellectually lazy path because I haven't really been reading or learning much like about the sort of world around me. I'm kind of bitching and moaning about it a lot of the time and watching the news, which doesn't help.
Right.
But I'm like, oh, I really need to get into just reading some new and interesting topics. So I've got this book now on the history of the Japanese haiku that one of my mates in this group like sent me.
Oh, that's cool.
To get into.
That's amazing.
And it was trying to see about. I've only just sort of gotten through the introduction, but it sounds like the idea is to see where there can be overlap. I think in the West, and how poetry is formed, or like where there's similarities, as much as they don't have very obvious similarities, there are still some present. So I think it's meant to unpack that, but we'll see as I get into what exactly the results of this guy's
a whole rabbit hole of
on
Japanese culture alone. I mean, you being really interested in that. Not too long ago, I went down this rabbit hole of watching. I was watching a few documentaries. Started with the video game Ghost of Tsushima. That's what kind of got me going. And then I was like, I've always wondered how Japanese swords are made, and there's a National Geographic or PBS or somebody made it was like a couple-hour documentary on the construction of the katana specifically, and controversially, or they were basically trying to define what is the best sword ever made in human existence, and pretty hands down it has been the katana, the folded steel technique that they have. But it went into the science behind it and how those ancient sword makers would have to, like, it was very challenging for them to get a fire hot enough to be able to fold steel the way that they do. And I think they had to get it up to like 3,000 degrees, and so it took like 20 guys would have to construct a fire in a very specific way. And it's kind of like on a ship where you have to constantly feed coal. They would have to constantly feed it and keep it going at a certain temperature, while the sword maker would have to be folding steel and going through the process for days. Mungee's gotten out in 20 minutes. Nice. Always appreciate that. Dang, it's already 20 minutes. But anyways, great documentary. And then I started getting into all these other things, wanting to go down, because a big part of the history rabbit holes I've gone down is the Genghis Khan one. I read a couple books on Genghis Khan's conquest and his son and his grandson, and watched a couple documentaries. But there's that whole Japanese history of the Mongols coming into Japan in a very pivotal time, I think in the 1300s or 1400s. But so much rich history. And the cool thing about Japan is that it was very isolated from a lot of exposure that China was exposed to with Genghis Khan and others. And China also conflicted with the Middle East in certain areas. So there's a history being tied together between Europe and Asia, but with Japan, very interestingly, kind of having a big chunk of time where they were able to develop their own society and civilization without too much influence from the outside world, which is, I think, a big contributing factor as to why Japan is so unique in Asian culture.
Actually it would be cool to do a little comparison to see what sort of like major shifts in like geopolitics or technology, what is happening in the rest of the world by comparison to what was going on in Japan at the time, and its own sort of shifts. I'm sure such timelines exist. It'd be kind of cool to see, because sometimes things still kind of, something can be happening all the way on the other side of the world, and seemingly totally independently, a similar thing is being developed on the other side.
Right.
It would be cool to see where those sort of points are. Yeah. 20 minutes left. Can you do it? I feel like I haven't done much. Noodling around these little things. Can be done. I suppose this was the point of the last classroom thing, putting a time limit so that you actually get stuff done.
Yeah, definitely. That was the plan.
Sweet potato.
I haven't taken much of a look at the canvas. We'll see what's going on. Ah, nice. Somebody else brought some Star Wars in here. I like it. Is that I think it's Nomenon. Nomenon, I'm starting to catch your style.
Wow.
If I'm right. General Grievous.
Love it. Damn, and working like so small too. Like, well, small when I compare with the scale I've been working at, taking up quite a chunk of the canvas, but maybe making it the size that I did, like, it's cool to see these things further off in the distance.
Yeah, that's what's so cool about this image is it does have really great perspective, and Namna did a great job of filling it in, as well as the stick figure action. I love those so much.
All over. Jeez.
The bush there in the background with the little droid popping out. Sick.
Imperial bush.
Yeah.
I put that, however. It's the wrong. There we go.
I didn't pick up on this earlier. Munju typed Eva, and I was like, it was when we were talking about Everest, I think. So I was thinking maybe it was a typo, but now I get it. Eva's here in the background from WALL-E. Dig it.
Nice. WALL-E was such a cool movie as well. I enjoyed that.
I had a really unique experience with WALL-E. I actually saw WALL-E when I was living in Michigan in a drive-in movie theater, like kind of out in the middle of nowhere. It was so cool.
Nice. Those need to make a comeback. I have seen a few like pop-up drive-in cinemas happening on school fields and stuff, which is quite cool. It's cool to see it.
Yeah, Austin has a pretty good selection of drive-in movie theaters. I've been to a couple now, and I've had a really great experience at both.
So there's still a thing there, like
Yeah.
quite big. Not oh wow.
Yep. At least, I mean, I grew up in Michigan, which had a handful. Texas seems to have a handful as well. Even in LA, when I was living in Los Angeles, I went to a few drive-ins. They would do drive-ins at like the top of a parking garage. There was one in the Hollywood Hills called Will Rogers State Park, which is like up in the Santa Monica Mountains. It's actually very beautiful, like a gorgeous park. And they literally had a thing called Movies in the Park. You could sign up, and they would regularly schedule every weekend. And it was a big deal in LA. So it's happening. It's still happening.
I know in the botanical gardens in Cape Town, they have a regular film screenings in the park. It's not a drive-in, but they set up a big screen with one of the big sections of lawn. People come in and have their bottles of wine and all that over there, and they do it during I think they do it during summer. They also got like music happening throughout that period where they have a big stage set up, and there's these concerts in the park, which are quite cool to go and see. You get some big name acts in there. So yeah, I remember we used to have a driving cinema in my hometown, but that was when I was, I don't know, 6, something like that, maybe a little older, I don't know. And then they've since fizzled out. But screens are still around in some places. I think it's some smaller towns, but yeah,
That's cool.
not much of a thing.
We're keeping it alive in the States.
Yeah. Don't erase.
Everest, I see your call out with this guy down below. If I would have seen that earlier, I should have had his head like tilting down and looking at him.
I can add in another one here.
Dude, trying to sketch these Star Wars droids and like actually fill them in is incredibly hard. It took all my time just to get the outline of the thing done.
That looks really good. It's like really
Thanks, man.
well, to me it looks really accurate. Yeah.
That's the stuff that I can do. It's like I can sketch and I can outline and get proportion. I'm terrible at painting. I just have such a hard time with painting.
I was gonna make one of these floaties.
Do not step on the plants. Okay, got it. That'd be a good one if he was kind of like animated and like trying to pick his foot up. Like, oh, sorry. Munju's doing a countdown. Oh, I like that. That's a good countdown.
Lordy. Nice. Assuming that's Nexus that added the legs into that pillar. Very cool. This guy should actually be yellow too. I think yes. Let's do that right now.
Yeah, Nexus is always doing great work with the image itself.
Yeah.
That's bold. I love it. It's a hard thing to do.
Hey, we have a new joiner coming in towards the end of the stream.
Oh man, bummer.
We'll have to rewind.
Thanks for popping in though. Yeah, please fill in this canvas either way. This is such a great image. I feel like I want to come back to this one and just keep working on it because there's so much that we could do in here. Tiny pixel art versions. Wait, what? Who did that?
Where do we find this, Manji?
Yeah, where?
Oh, on Discord.
Discord. Okay.
I've got Discord closed at the moment. Just save computer resources.
Dude, that's pretty sweet, actually. Nice work. Very cool. I'm gonna sabotage real quick and drop this in the canvas. I dig it.
Cool.
Pretty spot on. Yeah, I mean, I'm easy because I'm brown hair and beard, so you can identify my characteristics with those things. It looks good. It looks good. You did a great job.
That's cool. Yeah.
That's worth praising.
I don't like this.
I'm gonna cheat here because I do not know. Well, we do have. Oh, well, we'll talk about that later. Need to do fonts.
Oh, sneaky. Oops. Nice, I didn't see him. Yeah, oh, the little things on the cap. Yeah, I must look a little scruffy around here. I need to neaten that up. I said to my wife the other day, like, I think while I was brushing my teeth or something, I looked at myself in the mirror, and my mustache made me think of, you know, those street sweeping machines, those little things that touch the ground and like spinning around.
Yeah,
yeah, that's what my face reminded me of a street cleaning machine.
Wow.
Feeling great about myself.
That's a real motivator. Why? Because of the goatee or the mustache, or
no? The mustache is just getting a bit long. Sort of, you know, it starts like going like over the top lip quite a bit, and it drinks my cappuccinos before I do. Like, so yeah.
I've definitely had that thought when my mustache starts to like furl over. Like, you know, when it starts to really go out, it's like, yeah, it does kind of look like that. Yeah, that's definitely an indicator she's like telling you to shave it.
Oh, she didn't say this was me to myself.
Oh, this is you. Okay. I thought you were saying that's what she said to you. I was like, dang, you guys go for it.
She's capable of such cruelty too, but no, it was me to myself this time.
Enough time with a person.
Or she might not say anything until I'm out in public drinking soup. Walking around all day. Hey.
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
All right. Where would we be without Manju's countdowns? We'd be drawing into the night. We just wouldn't stop. Just keep going.
We'd still be on the first Clubhouse canvas.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good. Make the line straight.
Everest, awesome work. Nomenon, great work. Nexus, sweet as always. Those pylons look really cool.
Check the canvases here. Yeah, let me zoom in for anyone that's watching. Pencils down.
Like it's a test. All right, you're all going to be graded.
Ooh, I'm keen to see what this is going to become.
El Huesudo. Just getting started. I like this work on the I didn't notice this, the brick or the little robot pulling out the stone. That's very cool. That's Nexus, I assume. Manju's car, very cool. The car is a regular theme. I dig it. This poor soul that's been shattered into multiple pieces, it looks like. Ryan, yours is great, man. Based on the theme you described, that's super cool. I really like the aesthetics of the terrariums or like protecting the plants.
Yeah, they're very, it's very rough. I couldn't like get things to look neat in this one, so it's all a bit sketchy. But oh well. You see a little potato popping out on the bottom left of it.
I think is it Nomenon or the Everest was also doing this last time, but if you look in the glass up on the ceiling towards the top, there's like faded
yes,
folks like figures. Looks good.
Nice.
I saw a few over to the right, like a whole little city or something.
It's so cool just being able to like zoom in and see just how far people have gone.
I love
whole
it.
Epic battle scene going on over here. Wow. Oh, I dig that owl as well. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah, great work, team. This is a blast.
Yeah.
Good theme. Good one to round out for the March of Robots, as much as I'd love to keep using this canvas. Maybe we could use it for something else.
Yeah, could do. So we've had quite a few raccoons popping up or the emojis popping up in our Discord server, because this month has also been for the character design reference and character design challenge website. Their theme has been raccoon burglar. So I remember seeing Nexus do a canvas with a bunch of raccoons. There we go. and it's since become a thing. There's been an invasion of it. So I thought maybe we'll have to do a theme canvas around raccoons as well. Keep hitting myself on this thing.
I'm down. I'm so down. That sounds like
maybe
a blast.
maybe that'll be next week.
We'll
down chat and we'll let you guys know.
I definitely agree. I think we need like more theme stuff if we can, and I guess I want to start to figure out if we can get more team exercises. Like I do love like the podcast format where we can just chat and talk and hang out, but I feel like it'd be cool. Maybe those Saturday streams would be a good one to make that the task oriented one. Hopefully, ideally, we'll get more people and we could delegate and like people pick a role, or like you focus on foreground, background. I don't know. We got to figure that part out.
Yeah, no, that sounds cool to me. Keen for that.
Awesome.
I think the Saturday mission will be much better. We can get a few more troops in.
Cool. Well, thank you folks for joining
everybody.
in.
Yeah, we will see you again soon. Tomorrow we have another classroom lesson, which I'll be doing, taking you through, and then next week Wednesday we'll be back here for the clubhouse. So feel free to keep painting on this throughout the week, and we'll chat to you guys again soon. Let me roll the outro here as soon as I can find it.
Cheers, everybody.
Bye.